Hi, I'm Mike Morales. You're watching Sipping Off the Cuff here on TequilaAficionado.com. We're part of Tequila Aficionado Media. I'm here in San Antonio. That gentleman there,
Rick Levy in San Diego.
he's in beautiful San Diego. Not downtown San Diego, just beautiful San Diego, but with a beautiful view. Rick, I'm so jazzed. We are finally getting around to Felipe Camarena's Pasote. This
Reposado.
is the Reposado. Again, take a look. Lots of bubbles. Lots of bubbles. I mean, you can shake this sucker up and it looks like shampoo, man. Wow. Now, if you watched this, if you sat through the 20 minutes that we did on the Blanco, you knew they were raving about this tequila. Yeah, different. But like we mentioned, if you take a look at the graphic, it's different from the Blanco. Each one of these has a different idol that it's patterned after. I'm not exactly sure which idol is which. I'm sure I read it somewhere, but I'm not going to go looking for it. Suffice it to say, it photographs really well. It's a beautiful bottle. You know, I had a concern about the cork. You know, be real careful, folks. It's a synthetic cork. Wet it down first, because it will on occasion pop out at you. Like
Right.
like this Blanco one did. See?
I'm breaking the seal.
Oh,
I
look at
have
that.
not had this yet.
He has not had it yet. We are literally sipping off the cuff.
Ooh.
I'm going to use my Glencairn Copita for this one, and we're gonna do a little bit right here. Oh, I love the bubbles. I love the bubbles.
Mm. Nice viscosity to it.
Yeah. Oh, by the
The
way,
bubbles kind of hang underneath
we
for a bit before they float up.
we mentioned how the legs and tears just clung. They beat it up all over your glass, and it obviously there are no. They make it a point to tell you that they don't use any additives. It's all natural. So whatever you're getting from the hand of the maker, the fruit, which is the agave, of course, and the barrel in this case. This is a Reposado. Let me see if I can. Again, we got information from Three Badge, the importer. They were nice enough to send us some information on Pasote. And let's see here. I'm going to go into some information from Tasting Panel, which they go a little bit more in depth on the barrels and what they're doing, or what Felipe Camarena is doing. By the way, he is using natural yeast. We talked about that in the Blanco. So the natural yeast would be probably coming from his own plants. Let's see here if I can get anything on the barrels.
They're using American oak in the materials that I have from Three Badge.
Okay. That's because the barrels used for aging the tequila average around 40 years of age, meaning there's no tannin or color extraction. Secondly, no coloring agents are used like caramel, which sweetens tequila, because Sebastiani's focuses on bringing a supremely natural tequila that expresses the purity of estate-grown agave to the market.
And it is a very pale Reposado.
Yeah, this is a 40-year-old barrel. This has been aged over
Wow.
and over, used over and over again, to where it's not imparting any deeper, richer colors.
I bet the Angels got a lot of this.
Maybe, could be. I don't know.
How long is it in the barrel?
That's a good question. I'm not sure, and I'm not sure how to find if we even got that information here. Because again, the information we have, even the website's very limited. 6 months of barrel aging in American oak.
Okay.
Now, again, the website says one thing, Tasting Panel article says something else. So we're giving you a little bit of a scoop here. According to Tasting Panel, they're saying that the barrels that these are aged in are at least 40 years old. So they are not imparting tannins or anything. This is just This is just 6 months of the juice touching the wood. That's it.
Interesting.
Ooh.
Now,
ooh.
on the nose, right
Wow.
away, I was, in addition to what we were getting from the Blanco, which is maybe slightly muted here, but I was immediately getting like some floral and vanilla notes.
Yes. Yes. I'm getting that also. It is.
It was really, it was surprising and beautiful.
Right off the bat too. Right at the top.
Yeah.
Wow, and it is sweet. It's a sweet on the nose. Oh my gosh, that's beautiful.
Do you think maybe it's starting to maybe the aging is unmasking the Highlands agave?
If I were to take this information at face value, if what Tasting Panel is reporting to us, that these barrels are 40 years old, I'm not getting the funkiness that I got in the Blanco. I'm not getting that pungent, that we had dissected over and over again.
When we were the Blanco, we couldn't necessarily identify Highlands versus Lowlands.
No, couldn't. This is really taking the edge off that funkiness.
Yeah. But with this kind of fruity, sweet floral, and it's not overly sweet, but
no, it's just very pleasant. It's very pleasant.
Yeah.
But it's more what I'm used to, though. It's more what I'm used to from a Highlands aroma, anyway.
Mm-hmm. I wonder if maybe the barrel is leaching out some of the funkiness.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Only Felipe knows.
Only Felipe knows. And you think he'll tell us? I don't think so. I think he'd be more, very gracious, very charismatic, I'm sure, but he's not going to tell us everything.
Going to keep his secrets.
Yeah. Still an explosion of pepper in your mouth.
Yeah. It's still big on the agave.
Yes.
But certainly not. It's not as big as the Blanco. The wood is rounding everything out.
Yes.
Whereas the Blanco was, like something completely new and, outside the mainstream.
Yes.
I think what we're finding in the Blanco is kind of bringing it back to what...
You mean in the Reposado, right? It's reining it in a little bit.
Yeah. And it's bringing it back to what, you can expect from a good Repo.
Wow. Yeah. This is more of... I don't even want to seem like I'm comfortable. Because it's always good to be challenged, palate-wise, nose-wise. It's always great to be surprised. And I'm sure that Felipe went for the surprise. He went for the shock aspect of it. What was it? The shock value. Like
shock and awe.
Yeah, he's kind of like the Howard Stern of distillers. He went for the shock value, and then you realize the guys are real. Really, he's really conservative, right? I love this
A
flavor.
lot of pepper around the palate.
Yes.
But it's a very wet finish.
It still has that long, medium to long finish. A nice, warm, fuzzy. Great retro-nasal. But the funkiness is gone. There's no shrooms. There's no Parmesan. It's much sweeter. More of the wood. I think.
Vanilla.
The what?
The vanilla from the wood.
Yes.
Yeah, warm and fuzzy.
It's warm and fuzzy. It is. This would be perfect in the fall. This is really a great fall tequila, I think. For autumn, where we've already, if you're watching us, it's already the day after Labor Day. Day after Labor Day when we're taping this. So here comes fall, a little bit of Indian summer, a little bit of fall. I think this is a great tequila to celebrate the autumn with.
I agree.
I love this nose, though. I love the sweetness on the nose.
Yeah.
And you know,
Flowers and vanilla and just still, lots of agave.
here's what surprises me, though, Rick. If these are 40-year-old barrels, why do they still smell so good? You think that the aroma would be muted.
You would
Wouldn't you?
think.
I'm getting, you and I have done enough of these already that we've gotten this nose on virgin barrels or barrels that have been used once or twice. Is maybe that's just the charm of American oak, that it just never dies. It just gets old. I don't know.
May we all be so lucky.
Yeah, I know. Hey, I don't know about you, pal, but I plan on aging gracefully. I think I have, actually. This is a beautiful nose. I wouldn't put it in a cocktail. I would hate putting this in a cocktail. Either one, Blanco or Repo. I mean, you could, but
You would have to really build the cocktail around the profile.
wow, you'd have your hands full just trying to match the Blanco.
Yeah, yeah. The Blanco, I don't know. I would pour the Blanco in a glass and put it up against any martini.
Throw an olive in it and call it done, right?
There
Serve
you
it in a
go.
martini glass and it's like it's already got the pickle juice in it. Or the olive juice. It's a dirty martini.
Yeah,
And we said,
a Parmesan stuffed olive.
yeah, there you go. Or, we talked about that it had maybe a touch of olives or brininess, and you're just not getting any of that in this Repo. It has really been reined in, and more of what you're used to as a Highlands Reposado.
Yeah.
And yet it's still look how pale. It's
And I
very
think
pale.
some of the the mineral quality is more muted as well.
Mhm. It's amazing stuff that he's doing. Isn't it amazing? 60-40. How do you come up with that? How many failures do you have to come up with before you go, that's it, 60-40? We'll say
Maybe.
50-50 for this one here.
Well, maybe he's testing the pH, and he's got like pH targets to,
You're making him sound like a pool guy.
stuff.
Wait, let me use the strips.
The fermentation. It's a vat of goo.
Oh my God. Felipe Camarena has just done it again. This is, again, Brand of Promise nominee for the Reposado category. We're going to stick him in that legacy category, because that's where he belongs. He definitely has pedigree. He knows exactly what he's doing. None of us, we're going to need GPS to follow him, because none of us know what he's doing. But what an amazing juice, man.
Where on the flavor gamut will he pop up next?
Yeah. he's you said it so eloquently when you were talking about the Blanco, that he has such a wide palette that he's not pigeonholing himself into what we as consumers are expecting out of a Highlands tequila. He's going over here.
He's able to control the variables, and so he can take you anywhere he wants to.
Jeez, man. We're on a Zamboni machine.
That's a ride I want to be on.
Yeah, no kidding.
Give me the world tour.
Wow. For those of you who have been to El Pandillo and have seen his distillery and seen because I know that there have been several folks that we know, you and I know, have been on several tours through his distillery. It must be what a treat. It must be like this mechanical marvel to go see what this guy is doing. To have nature work with him instead of against him. Wow. Needless to say, now you discovered something interesting before we sign off. You mentioned that the MSRP and what actually can be acquired for. There's a wide variation in pricing right now.
Yeah. So for the Reposado, 3 badge is suggesting $59 per bottle. But you can get it at Old Town Tequila, Z's place, for $45.
Wow. 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 Order as much as you possibly can, folks. Just
Maybe it's an introductory offer, and then once everyone realizes how great this is, it'll jack up the prices.
yeah, get it while it's hot. Right now, before the holidays.
Z's a dealer, and this is the freebie.
That's it. That's the one. You're terrible, man. Oh my gosh. Just for those of you who don't know, this is it is an 80 proof, 40 ABV, and I'll give you the gnome in a second. What was it?
1579.
1579. And we highly recommend it. Again, it's a Brand of Promise nominee in the Reposado category for the legacy section of our categories for our Brand of Promise and Sipping Off the Cuff. There's our take. You tell us down below. Give us your comments. If you've had Pasote, what do you think? Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Tell us how we're doing. You know, we want to know what you're thinking of Pasote as well. And here, you know, I'm Mike Morales here in San Antonio. That gentleman over there.
I'll be in San Diego.
That's it. And you've been watching Sipping Off the Cuff with Pasote Tequila. As we like to say, tomar sabiamente.